So much has happened in the past, probably what, 15 years,
Yeah.
that's really transformed the industry. Um, and so it's a good thing, but in the same, token, there's also a lot of women that I see that are going in the direction of really wanting to improve how they look, but they overdo it.
Yeah.
So I feel as if, there's so many wonderful things that we can do, but we also want
Mhm.
to make sure that we're really careful.
I think that every person who's practicing in this space has to ask themselves, honestly, how am I participating in perhaps a dysmorphia or making people look peculiar? You never want to be that person that's participating in that, because we've all seen those faces as we check out from the grocery store, that basically are all over these magazine covers, and you're wondering, how did it get to that? And so I had those honest questions for myself because I never wanted to be the cause of that. And so that's something that I actually published on called Perception Drift. And this is that people do come in, they authentically want to look natural from the things that you're doing. They don't want to look like a different person. But all of a sudden, that same person 6 months later or 1 year later is the same person asking you for more. And so it started making me wonder, is it that all of these people have body dysmorphia? Or is it, because that would be a lot of people, or is it that there's something else that's happening when we embark on these procedures that perhaps distorts the way that we perceive ourselves? And so this is a phenomenon. If we look at body dysmorphia, there is this local and global processing. So our ability to switch from perseverating on that one line over our upper lip to seeing that one line in the whole of that face. And so when we do something, we perseverate on the small thing. We're focusing on that one nasolabial fold or that tear trough. But the goal for the brain is to switch back to seeing it in the context of the whole face. But it quickly accommodates back to baseline. And so now it's used to having no tear trough, no nasolabial fold. And so it goes on to focus or fixate on something else, like maybe a jowl. And so from that place, you can start entering a slippery slope unless you also have someone, a trusted provider, that can kind of, serve as like a guardrail. Look at your before and after photos with every intervention and say, hey, we're drifting away from what you began, like, because it's easy to do, especially if you don't have somebody who's trustworthy that's injecting you, or someone who doesn't take before and after photos to compare back to. And so it is a real phenomenon, Michelle.